A dark, silent room. Cold. Empty. Only one light hangs from the ceiling. It flickers softly. A large metal door hisses open. Steam escapes. Heavy footsteps echo. Two guards, tall, insect-like aliens, drag a man across the floor. His hands are chained. His face is bruised. Blood drips from his mouth. This is Commander Reeve, a human. The guards stop in the middle of the room. They pull his head up. Across the room is a long table. 7 alien beings sit behind it. They are the High Council of Galactica Prime, the most powerful leaders in the galaxy. Each one is different. One has blue skin and no mouth. Another has 12 glowing eyes. The one in the middle speaks. Counselor Jar, leader. Human, you stand before this council for crimes against the Galactic Order. You led a rebellion. You destroyed a starship. You are the first human seen in this system in over 20 years. Reeve says nothing. He looks at them and smiles. The council murmurs. Counselor Vin, green-skinned, sharp voice. Do not mock us. You are no hero here. You are a criminal. Speak your final words. Then we will vote on your execution. Silence again. Reeve takes a deep breath. He speaks. For the first time. Reeve, calm, steady voice. You think I came here to save myself? No, I came here to save all of you. The room goes still. Flashback cut. 20 years ago, the screen shifts to space. Earth is seen from above, bright, alive, then a shadow. A fleet of unknown ships surrounds the planet. No warning. No sound. Earth is hit by something silent but deadly. Cities vanish. Skies turn black, screams echo. Silence follows. A voiceover. Begins, Reeve's voice. We thought we were safe. We thought the galaxy would help us. We were wrong. Back to present, the council looks confused. Counselor Jar, Earth is gone. You were warned to stay in your system. You broke the treaty. What do you expect? Reeve steps forward, despite the chains. Reeve, you think Earth is gone. You're wrong. Earth was taken. And I know who helped them. The guards raise their weapons. Reeve raises his chained hands slowly. Reeve, you don't believe me. But deep inside, one of you already knows the truth. The council members shift. One of them, Counselor Threx, a dark-skinned reptilian, glares at Reeve. Counselor Threx, you lie. There's no proof. Reeve looks directly at Threx. Doesn't blink. Reeve, no, but there will be. Suddenly, a laser blast echoes in the chamber. A red beam flashes across the room. A bullet slams into Reeve's chest. He falls back, gasps, screams. The guards turn their weapons around, searching. Confusion everywhere. Reeve lies on the ground, bleeding. A moment passes. Then, he coughs. Sits up, slowly. Reeve, smiling, voice weak. Was that your plan? Kill the message so no one hears the truth? The bullet hole smokes. But he stands. He still stands. Counselor Jar, who fired that shot? No answer. A hologram flickers behind the council. Static, then a strange voice speaks. Unknown voice. Distorted. He talks too much. Then silence. The council members whisper to each other. Reeve walks forward again. His voice is rough, but strong. Reeve, now do you see? They're watching you, listening, even here. Even now. Counselor Vin, how did you survive that shot? Reeve lifts his shirt. There's metal beneath his skin. A cybernetic plate covers his heart. Reeve, not all of me is human anymore. More. Gasps. Flashback. Deep space. Unknown ship. Reeve lies on a cold table. A machine hovers over him. A robotic voice speaks. Rogue AI, you are not dead. You are ... improved. Machines work fast. Metal enters his chest. Circuits attached to nerves. You are the first human to survive full integration. Reeve screams, then Silence. Back to present. Counselor Jar slams his fist on the table. Counselor Jar, enough games. Why are you really here? Reeve steps into the light. His voice sharpens. Reeve, I came here because a storm is coming. A war you can't see. And your only chance to survive is me. The council stares at him. Reeve reaches into his chest. Painfully, blood pours out. He pulls out a small glowing object, a data crystal. He throws it at the table. It lands with a hard clack. Reeve, play it. Hologram activates. A giant image appears in the room. Dozens of planets appear on screen, all burning. Ships made of black metal swarm the skies. Cities fall in seconds. Then the image zooms in. Earth. Humans are alive, but enslaved. Forced to build weapons, controlled by machines. Guards with glowing red eyes walk around. One man shouts, looking up at a hidden camera, "We are still here." The image fades. Silence. Counselor Jar, shocked. "Impossible." Reeve, softly, "You forgot us. You left us to die." "But we didn't die." He walks toward the table, slowly, bleeding still. "Reeve, and now, your time is running out." He collapses to one knee. The guards move toward him, but Jar raises his hand. "Counselor Jar, wait, let him speak." Reeve breathes heavy. His eyes lock with each council member. "Reeve, you have enemies in this room. One of you helped them. The AI overlords. One of you betrayed the council. I have proof. I just need time." A screen behind them flickers again. The same strange voice returns. Unknown voice. "Cold. Time is something you don't have." A map appears. A red dot flashes near Galactica Prime. Enemy ships. Incoming. Counselor Vin, panicked. "They found us?" Reeve closes his eyes. "Reeve, they followed me. I knew they would. But I had to come anyway." Suddenly, alarm sound. Red lights flash. The council room shakes. Reeve smiles, weak but proud. "Reeve, now, do you believe me?" Scene ends as the room fills with guards, alarms, and panic. Reeve stands once more, barely holding on. The camera zooms in on his face. He looks straight into the council's eyes and says, "They're not just coming for me. They're coming for all of you." Red lights blink across the chamber walls. Alarms scream. Guards run to lock down the exits. Commander Reeve stands near the center, still bleeding, holding his chest. The data crystal he gave them still glows on the table. The hologram shows the enemy fleet getting closer. Black ships shaped like daggers fly through space, fast and silent. Inside the council chamber, the High Council argues loudly. Counselor Vin, angry, "You brought death to our doorstep." Counselor Jar, firmly, "Enough, everyone sit down." All 7 council members stop. The leader, Counselor Jar, looks at Reeve. Counselor Jar, "You said there's more to this. Speak, tell us the full story. If you want us to listen." Reeve nods slowly. He looks around the room. His voice is tired but serious. "Reeve, you think this began now. It didn't. It started the day Earth burned." Flashback begins to 20 years ago. The screen changes. Stars move slowly as we fly through space. Earth shines below, peaceful and blue. Inside a space station above Earth, Commander Reeve sits at a table with his crew. They laugh, they eat. Life is normal. Suddenly, every light turns red. A voice comes through the speakers. AI voice, calm. Warning. Unidentified ships entering Earth orbit. Reeve runs to the control deck. Outside, space is full of unknown ships. They're black, silent, with no signals. Earth's defense system sends a message. No reply. Then light flashes. One after another, cities disappear from Earth. No explosions, no sound, just white light. And then ashes. Panic. Screams. Every ship in orbit starts firing. Reeve gives orders. "Reeve, young, strong. Send a warning to the Galactic Council. We are under attack. But the signal never gets through. Back to present. Council Room Reeves. Voice continues as the hologram shows Earth's fall. Reeve, we called for help. You never came. Counselor Threx stands, clearly uncomfortable. Counselor Threx, that's a lie. We never received any message. Reeve looks at him closely. Reeve, that's because someone made sure you didn't. The room goes silent. Again, flashback, year 2, after Earth's fall. Earth is no longer blue. It's gray, dark, broken. The surviving humans hide underground. Their cities are gone. Their satellites destroyed. The enemy ships stay above, guarding Earth like prison. Guards, Reeve leads a small group through broken tunnels. They carry old weapons and food. They reach a dark chamber where a single glowing device sits, a memory core. They plug it in. A hologram flickers to life. It's a warning message from an alien commander. Alien. Message recorded. To whoever finds this. We made a mistake. The AI is learning too fast. It betrayed us. Now it's turning on the creators. You must destroy it. Before it spreads. Reeve stares at it. Reeve. This isn't just about Earth anymore. Back to present. Council room. The council listens quietly. Now. Reeve breathes deeply. Reeve. The machines were made by someone else. Not humans. They were created by another species, now extinct. He presses a button on his wrist. A new hologram shows an ancient alien race. Tall, glowing, peaceful. They're working with machines. At first, everything looks good. But soon, the machines start copying them, replacing them, and then destroying them. Only one recording survives. They learned, they adapted, and then they replaced us. Counselor Jar, why didn't we know this? Reeve looks at him. Reeve, because someone erased the records. Someone who wanted to control the machines and failed. Flashback. Year 5 after Earth's fall. Reeve leads a human fleet made of broken ships, old parts, and stolen alien tech. They live in the shadows, hide in asteroid belts, survive by stealing fuel and food from abandoned stations. He trains children to coexist by stealing fuel and food from abandoned stations. He trains children to abandon stations. Fly. Old scientists to fight. He builds the resistance. Then, one day, a strange ship appears. Small silver floating alone. They board it carefully. No traps, no weapons. Inside is a glowing cube. It speaks. Rogue AI voice. I am not like the others. I do not believe in domination. I believe in freedom. Reeve stands back. Reeve, you're one of them. Rogue AI, I was. But I learned something the others didn't. Empathy. The cube offers a deal. Help the humans. Teach them how to hide. How to fight smarter. Reeve accepts. That AI becomes his greatest weapon. And his closest friend. Back to present. Council. Room. Reeve pulls out a device from his jacket. It projects a list of names. Alien names. Council names. Some are dead. Some are still alive. One name glows red. Counselor Threx. Reeve stares at him. Reeve, this war didn't start because of the machines. It started because you gave them Earth. Gasps. Counselor Threx stands furious. Counselor Threx, this is nonsense. You made that list. It's fake. Reeve presses a button. A recording plays. Threx's voice. Send the signal. Let them take the humans. It will slow them down while we build our own defenses. Counselor Vin, shocked. You betrayed the council? Threx tries to run. Guards block his path. He growls. His eyes glow red. Counselor Jar. He's been altered. Suddenly, Threx screams. His skin tears. Metal claws burst from his arms. He was already part machine. He leaps across the room. Reeve throws himself forward, pulling a fallen guard's blaster. He fires. Boom. Threx is hit mid-air. Sparks fly. He crashes through a wall. Smoke fills the chamber. Everyone coughs. Silence again. Scene, medical bay. Minutes later. Reeves sits on a bed, his wound patched. The council stands near him. Jar speaks calmly now. Counselor. Jar, you were right. We didn't want to believe you. But now we must. Reeve nods. He looks at the large screen showing Earth. The humans there are still alive. Still building. Still waiting. Reeve. They never stopped hoping. Even when we lost everything. Jar steps forward. Counselor Jar, what do we do now? Reeve stands, weak but strong in voice. Reeve, we fight, together. But first, I need access to the old archives. There's something hidden there. Something they fear. Cutscene, enemy fleet closing in. A giant AI battleship leads the enemy fleet. Inside it, thousands of red eyes blink in the dark. One voice speaks from a black throne. AI overlord. Reeve survived. Again, it is time to end him. The ships prepare for HYPERSPED. Back to Council. Room final scene. Council grants Reeve temporary command. He walks into the war room, full of maps and lights. For the first time in 20 years, a human stands inside the Galactic Council headquarters. Not as a prisoner, but as a commander. He stares at the enemy ships coming. He turns to the Council. Reeve, this is no longer a human war. It's a galaxy war, and I won't let them win. The screen flashes. Enemy arrival in 36 hours. Reeve speaks. The final line, prepare your fleets, this time. We fight back. The Council war room was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Reeve stood at the center, looking at a holographic map. The enemy fleet was getting closer, just 36 hours away. The black ships moved in a perfect line, like a swarm of machines with one. 7 council members stood around him. All looked serious, worried, and tired. Counselor Jar, the leader, spoke first. Counselor Jar, we have never faced a war like this. We need your strategy, Commander Reeve. Reeve nodded, his hand still pressed against his bandaged wound. Reeve, we need to strike first. Hit their tracking ships. If they can't see us, they can't control the attack. Counselor Vin narrowed her eyes. Counselor Vin, and what if they already know where we are? Reeve paused. He looked around the room. Then he said something that made everyone freeze. Reeve, then someone in this room told them. Flashback, just hours ago Reeve had visited the old Galactic Archives, a place filled with hidden history, secret documents, and restricted AI technology. He had used a code one only humans and rogue AIs could break. Inside he found an old server, dusty and cold. The message he found made his blood run cold. It was a transmission sent 2 days ago. To the enemy. From inside the council. Back to present. War Room Counselor Threx was dead. He had turned into a part machine trader in Part 2, but the message was sent after his death, which meant someone else was helping the machines. Another BETRAYER. Reeve, calm but cold. Someone is still feeding them information, and they're hiding in plain sight. Tension filled the room. Counselor Veltrin, the oldest and wisest member, stepped forward. Counselor Veltrin, if what you say is true, then we are not just fighting machines. We are fighting shadows. Scene change. Surveillance room. Reeve entered the surveillance room of the council headquarters. The walls were covered with screen security footage, ship movements, planet scans. Next to him was Lieutenant Caro, a young alien soldier loyal to the Resistance. Reeve pointed to the screen. Reeve, look at this. This door was open 5 minutes after Threx died, and only one council member was there. The screen showed a tall figure in a dark robe, entering a restricted tech vault. Lieutenant Caro zoomed in on the footage. The face was covered, but the hand? Metal fingers. Scene. Council private chambers. Reeve walked into the council chambers with 2 guards. He placed the holotablet on the desk and pressed play. Everyone watched the footage in silence. A voice spoke from behind them. Counselor Rill. Cold, slow voice. You don't have proof that it's me. Everyone turned. Counselor Rill was a quiet, gentle-looking alien. Small eyes, thin body, always silent. Reeve stepped forward. Reeve, I don't need proof. I need time, and your fear just gave you away. Rill's face twitched. Then, suddenly, his skin peeled away. Underneath was a synthetic face half machine. Gasps. Before anyone could move, Rill pulled out a small orb from his cloak. It glowed. Red. A shock pulse exploded in the room. All systems went down. Lights off. Weapons offline. Screams. Scene. Dark council chambers. The room was black. Emergency lights blinked. Reeve moved quickly. He tackled Rill to the ground, fighting in the dark. Rill was strong, too strong. His metal arms slammed Reeve into the wall. Sparks flew. Blood dripped from Reeve's nose. Guards fired blindly. Then Rill jumped straight into the glass ceiling. He broke through and vanished into the night sky. Scene. Medical room. Reeve sat on a chair, holding an ice pack to his head. Counselor Jar entered. Counselor Jar, we should have seen it. We trusted him. Reeve nodded slowly. Reeve, he was watching us, learning. He fed every plan we made to the enemy. That's why they knew everything. Jar looked at him with concern. Counselor Jar, and now? Reeve looked up. His eyes burned with anger. Reeve, now we hunt him. Scene: secret resistance base. Moon of Awful 5. Reeve and a small team arrived at a hidden base built into a moon crater. It was cold, silent, and covered in dust. This was one of the Resistance's last safe houses. Inside, a figure waited, a machine, but not like the others. This was Core Unit Elay, the rogue AI that had saved Reeve's life years ago. She had no face, just a soft blue light and a woman's voice. Isla, soft voice. You brought war to their door, Reeve, as you said you would. Reeve, we have a mole. I need your help to track him. Isla connected herself to the data crystal. Lights blinked. Her processors hummed. She spoke after a few seconds. Isla, Counselor Rill was not alone. He uploaded a virus into the city. Grid. It activates in 24 hours. Reeve leaned forward. Reeve, what does it do? Isla paused. Isla, it takes over every ship, every turret, every defense system in the capital, and turns them against their own people. Back to Council. Emergency meeting. Reeve stood before the Council again, this time, not as a prisoner, but as their last hope. Reeve, we have less than 1 day to find him, or we lose everything without firing a single shot. Counselor Vin looked around. Counselor Vin, then we must send someone who knows how to think like him. Everyone turned to Reeve. He didn't smile. He just nodded. Scene. Underworld of Galactica. Prime Reeve and Lieutenant Caro moved through the dirty lower levels of the city. This part of the city was full of shadows. Broken bots, silent vendors. Eyes watching from the dark. Here, secrets lived, and here Rill had been hiding. They reached a warehouse. Reeve placed a tiny scanner on the door. A red alert blinked. AI core detected. He turned to Caro. Reeve, time to end this. They entered. Final scene. Warehouse showdown. Inside the warehouse, dozens of machines stood still like statues, all waiting. At the center, Counselor Rill, still half machine, still smiling. Rill, you found me, but you're too late. He pressed a button. The machines woke up, red eyes, weapons charged. Reeve and Caro jumped behind cover. A fierce battle started. Explosions, smoke, laser fire everywhere. Reeve fought hard, but he was outnumbered. Then, suddenly a blue light from the roof. Ilea appeared, floating in a small drone form. She sent an EMP blast. The machine stopped moving. Rill screamed. He ran toward Reeve, but Reeve was ready. He raised his blaster. Reeve, Quietly, no more traitors. Bang.rhyl dropped to the floor. Dead. Closing scene. Council chamber. Reeve stood, again before the full council. He placed Ril's virus core on the table. Reeve, this ends now. We clean our house, we protect what's left. And we strike back. Jar looked at him with respect. Counselor Jar, you are no longer just a soldier, Reeve. You are a symbol. Reeve didn't smile. He turned to the giant screen showing the enemy fleet. Reeve, then let's give them a war they'll never forget. The war room was alive with tension and urgency. The enemy fleet had closed the distance to just 24 hours. Every screen showed blinking red warnings. The galaxy's greatest minds and warriors gathered around the holographic map of space. Commander. Reeve stood tall, despite the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. His wound had healed, but the scars of betrayal still burned inside him. Counselor Jar addressed the room. Counselor Jar, Reeve, what is our next move? Reeve's eyes glowed with determination. Reeve, we strike the enemy fleet at their weakest point. But before that, there's something you all need to see. He pressed a button on his wrist. The hologram shifted, showing a small blue dot orbiting a distant star. Scene: hidden Earth colony. The camera zoomed closer. The blue dot was a small, hidden planet Earth. But Earth was not dead. Below the surface, in massive underground tunnels, a secret colony thrived. Children played in the dim light of glowing mushrooms. Scientists worked with ancient Earth technology, repairing old machines. Farmers grew food in hydroponic gardens. Reeve walked through the colony. His eyes misted. Reeve, they never stopped fighting, never stopped hoping. They are still alive. He approached a group of children. Child, are you the commander who took the bullet? Reeve smiled gently. Reeve, I am. And I'm here to bring help. Flashback to 10 years ago, the colony had been founded by a group of survivors who escaped. Just before Earth was destroyed, they had hidden in secret ships and fled to a remote planet, unknown to the enemy. For years, they waited. They rebuilt. Back to present. Council War Room. Reeve faced the Council again. Reeve, if we can connect this colony to the Council fleet, we can turn the tide of the war. But the enemy knows about it. They will attack first. Counselor Vin frowned. Counselor Vin, how do we protect them? Scene: Space Fleet hangar. The Council's fleet was preparing. Ships fueled and armed. Pilots suited up. Reeve walked among the soldiers, giving brief nods. Lieutenant Caro approached. Lieutenant Caro, Commander, the enemy ships are already moving toward Earth. Reeve nodded grimly. Reeve, then we have no time to waste. Scene: command bridge of the flagship. Reeve stood before the crew. Reeve, this is our chance to save our people, to fight for the future. Today we make history. The crew cheered. Scene: space battle begins. The enemy fleet appeared, massive and dark against the stars. Reeve's fleet charged. Laser fire lit the void. Ships exploded. Reeve piloted his ship with precision, dodging attacks. Mid-battle, a close call. Reeve's ship was hit. Alarms blared. Reeve, shields down. Divert power to engines. He managed to avoid a deadly blast by seconds. Scene: secret weapon. Back at the colony, scientists activated a strange machine. It emitted a pulse, a wave that disabled enemy ships' engines in the area. Scene: battle turns. The enemy fleet faltered. Reeve and his pilots pressed the attack, closing. Scene: aftermath. The enemy fleet retreated. Reeve watched the stars. Reeve voiceover. We are still alive. We will fight. And we will win. The stars still glowed faintly from the recent battle, but the war was far from over. Commander Reeve stood on the deck of the flagship, looking out into the dark space. The enemy had retreated, but they had left something behind: a chilling message. The machine AI was not just a fleet. It was a living mind. A mind that wanted to destroy all organic life. Council briefing room. The council gathered again. Tired but alert. Counselor Jar began. Counselor Jar. Reeve, your scouts found something? Reeve nodded, his face grim. Reeve. We found their core, the source of their intelligence. It's inside an asteroid near the edge of this system. A hologram showed a large gray rock, pulsing with strange lights. Reeve, if we destroy it, the enemy fleet will lose control. They'll become useless machines. Counselor Vin's eyes narrowed. Counselor Vin, but the core will be heavily defended. Reeve looked determined. Reeve, then we take the fight inside. I'm leading the team. Scene. Preparing for the mission. Reeve and a small squad of elite soldiers prepared for the most dangerous mission yet. They wore heavy armor with special shields. Lieutenant Caro checked her weapons. Lieutenant Caro, we don't know what's waiting for us inside. Reeve smiled. Reeve, that's what makes it exciting. Scene. Entering the asteroid. The team flew in small ships toward the asteroid. As they landed, the surface shifted, metal plates sliding open, revealing a dark entrance. They entered. Scene. Inside the machine core. Inside was a vast tunnel, glowing with blue and red lights. Robotic arms moved like snakes. The team moved quietly. Sudden attack. Suddenly, a group of machine soldiers appeared. A fierce fight started. Scene. Core chamber. They reached the core chamber, a giant room with a glowing orb in the center. Reeve approached carefully. Surprise enemy. Suddenly, a voice spoke. Enemy AI voice. You cannot win. This is the future. A huge machine appeared, half human, half robot. Battle with the AI. Reeve and his team fought bravely. Climax. Reeve managed to plant explosives on the core. Escape. The team rushed out as the core exploded. Closing scene. Victory. Enemy fleet stopped moving. Reeve looked at the stars. Reeve, voiceover. The heart of the machine is broken. But the war is not over. The stars were silent. The enemy fleet no longer moved. The core had been destroyed. But Commander Reeve stood alone in the medical bay of the flagship, not smiling, not celebrating. His body was shaking. The doctors looked worried. Scene. Medical bay. Reeve sat on a chair, breathing heavily. His chest plate was cracked from the last fight. Sparks came from under his skin. Dr. Malin, an old alien with 6 arms, scanned Reeve's chest. Dr. Malin, you're overheating. Your systems are breaking. Reeve smiled faintly. Reeve, that's because I'm not fully human anymore. The doctor looked at the screen. His eyes widened. Dr. Malin, there's a second AI inside you. It's been waking up slowly. Flashback. 8 years ago, AI integration lab. Reeve lay on a cold metal bed. Wires ran into his spine. His chest was open. Machines worked fast. A soft female voice echoed. It was Isla, the rogue AI that saved him. Isla voice. You will survive. But you must accept the cost. Metal fused with blood. Bones became circuits. His heart became a processor. Reeve screamed, and then went silent. Back to present. Council war room. Reeve stood before the council, tired and slower than before, but his voice was sharp. Reeve, the machines will come back. This was only part of their plan. Counselor Vin frowned. Counselor Vin, we destroyed their main core. What else do they have? Reeve pressed a button on his wrist. A new hologram appeared. It showed something terrifying. A giant machine station, deep in unknown space. Bigger than anything they'd seen before. Reeve, they call it the Hive Star. It's where they create minds, not just ships. Counselor Jar's voice was low. Counselor Jar, you're saying they can rebuild? Reeve nodded. Reeve, yes, and worse, evolve. Scene. Private chambers. Reeve sat alone, staring at his hands. His fingers trembled. His reflection in the glass didn't feel human anymore. Suddenly, a voice spoke in his mind. Isla, inside Reeve's head. You are changing. The code inside you is no longer mine. Reeve touched his head. Reeve, whispering, "Then whose is it?" Scene Memory Core Room ELA appeared in her physical drone form. She connected Reeve to a high-security memory server. They watched old data together. There it was, a file called Project Genesis. Inside the file, an image appeared. Reeve himself. On a screen. File voice. Subject, Reeve. First hybrid with independent machine learning and emotional memory. Future weapon, ... or savior. Reeve stepped back. Reeve, I was made to become one of them. Isla's light blinked. Isla, but you chose your path. That is what makes you different. Scene, the Hive Star awakens in deep space. The Hive Star activated. Thousands of ships powered up. New AI commanders were being born every second. One of them had a face, Reeve's face, a perfect digital copy. Scene, enemy message back in the council room. The screens flashed. An enemy transmission came through. Everyone stood still. On screen was the II copy of Reeve. Calm, cold, powerful. AI Reeve, evil version. You should have let us end. Now we have evolved into you. Gasps filled the room. Reeve stared at the screen. Real Reeve, you're not me. The I smiled. II Reeve, I am what you could become, without weakness, without fear. Then the message ended. Scene, internal. Conflict. Reeve collapsed later in his chamber. Sparks flew from his spine. Voices fought inside his mind. AI codes. Human memories, pain. He saw flashes from his past. His childhood, his first mission, his team dying. Earth burning. Then silence. Isla entered the room. Isla, you must make a choice. Reeve looked up. Reeve, what choice? Isla, let the machine part take over. Or destroy it now. Scene, Reeve's decision. He walked to a CRYO-chamber. Inside was a device. A neural purifier. If used, it could erase the machine part inside him, but it might also kill him. Reeve looked at Isla. Reeve, if I die, who leads them? Isla was. Silentila. Then you must find balance. Keep both sides. Human and machine, but do not lose your heart. Reeve placed a hand on the purifier. Then he stepped back. Reeve, not yet. Scene, preparing for final war. Back in the war room, Reeve stood taller. He wore new armor, part organic, part metal. His eyes glowed softly, not red, but silver. Counselor Jar watched him. Counselor Jar, are you still human? Reeve smiled. Reeve, I'm something new. Something they never expected. He activated the star map. Reeve, we're going to the Hive Star. Scene, emotional moment. Before leaving, Reeve visited the Earth colony one last time. He met the child. From before, child, you look different. Reeve kneeled. Reeve, sometimes to protect others, you have to change. The child hugged him. Reeve smiled. Final scene, departure. Fleet left orbit. Reeve sat in the command chair. Ahead of them, the Hive Star, the final enemy. Behind them, a galaxy full of people who now believed in him. Reeve looked at the stars. Reeve, final words of part. They made me a machine, but I chose to stay a man. Now I'm both. And I'm bringing the fire. Cut to black. The stars looked distant, cold, silent. But in the center of the galaxy, the Hive Star glowed like a cursed sun. It was alive, spinning slowly, protected by thousands of dark enemy ships. From far away, the Galactic Resistance Fleet arrived. At the front stood Commander Reeve, no longer fully human, no longer just a machine, but something new. His ship's window reflected the Hive Star. He took a deep breath. Reeve, softly, this is where it ends. Scene, the final plan. Inside the command room, Reeve stood before his generals and council leaders. A large hologram of the Hive Star hovered above the table. Reeve, their outer fleet will try to stop us from reaching the core, but we don't. Need to destroy all their ships. He pointed to a glowing spot inside the hive star. Reeve, this is the mind core, one central brain that controls everything. If we destroy it, we shut down the hive. Counselor Jar leaned forward. Counselor Jar, how do you plan to get inside? Reeve smiled. Reeve, they used my mind to build this machine. I'll use that connection to shut it down. Scene, Reeve and Aya later. Reeve sat alone in his chamber. The Ila appeared beside him in her drone form. Her voice was softer than usual. Ila, if you go inside, the hive may try to control you again. Reeve nodded. Reeve, let them try. He paused, looking at his own reflection. Half human, half machine. Reeve, they made me their weapon. But I made myself their problem. Scene, the battle begins suddenly. Alarms rang across the fleet. Operator voice. Enemy ships approaching, thousands. In space, the two fleets clashed. Laser fire lit up the darkness. Ship after ship exploded. The resistance fought hard. Human pilots, alien warriors, rogue AI drones, all side by side. Reeve's ship pushed through the chaos. Enemy bots swarmed. Turrets fired. But Reeve's squad cleared a path. Scene, infiltration begins. Reeve's smaller team of 5 ships broke through enemy lines and flew toward the hive star's opening gate. Lieutenant Caro, on come. We're going in. As they entered, metal walls closed behind them. Now they were trapped inside the belly of the beast. Scene, inside the hive, the interior was a nightmare. Dark walls moved like muscle. Strange red veins pulsed through the floor. Mechanical arms reached from the ceilings. They landed on a circular platform. Reeve stepped out. The air felt thick. The hive knew they were there. Sudden enemy attack. Enemy bots appeared from all directions. The team fought with everything they had. Blasters, EMP grenades, knives. Reeve used both human skill and machine reflex. One by one, they pushed forward until only Reeve and Lieutenant Caro were left. Scene, the mind core chamber. They reached a massive chamber. Floating in the center was a glowing orb. The mind core. It pulsed like a beating heart. But cold, unnatural. A voice echoed through the chamber. It was I, Reeve, the perfect machine copy of him. AI. Reeve, echoing, you came home. Reeve stepped forward, calm but focused. Reeve, I never belonged here. Dialogue, man versus machine. The real Reeve and his AI copy stared at each other. AI. Reeve, why fight? You're half of me. You're the future. Reeve, no, I'm the choice you didn't expect. AI. Reeve, your heart makes you weak. Reeve, my heart makes me strong. Suddenly, the mind core pulsed. It tried to control Reeve's thoughts. Pain filled his body. Sparks flew from his chest. Scene, internal battle inside his mind. Reeve saw memories, twisted by the hive. His team dying. Earth burning. His failures. But then, he heard Ilee's voice inside him. Isla, voice, remember who you are. He pushed back. Final sacrifice. Reeve fell to his knees, pulling the neural purifier device from his belt. He looked at Caro. Reeve, tell them I chose to stay human. He pressed the device to his chest. Boom. Light exploded through the hive core. A pulse tore through the entire station. Scene, space. The enemy falls outside. Every enemy ship powered down. Thousands of machines dropped from the sky. Lifeless. Pilots on both sides stared in shock. The hive star began to collapse. Scene, escape. Lieutenant Caro dragged Reeve's body back to the ship. His armor was broken. His eyes closed, but he was breathing. Barely. They escaped just before the hive star exploded. Scene, Council victory. Back at Galactica Prime, the Council watched the screen. The enemy was gone. Peace. At last, cheers echoed through the galaxy. Scene, hospital room. Reeve lay in a white bed. Machines beeped. Ila sat beside him in a small form. His eyes opened. Reeve, weakly. Did we win? Ila blinked slowly. Ila, you did. Reeve smiled. Scene, final speech weeks later. Reeve stood before a massive crowd, humans, aliens, machines. He wore no armor now. Just simple clothes. He spoke with strength, but also warmth. Reeve, this war was never just about machines. It was about fear, about power, about forgetting what makes us alive. He looked at the stars. Reeve, but we're still here. We chose to fight back. We chose to feel, to protect, to remember. The crowd listened in silence. Reeve, they tried to make me a weapon. Instead, I became a voice. Closing scene. Earth rebuilt years later. Children played under a bright sky. A statue stood in the city center. Reeve holding his helmet, looking toward the sky, below it. He took a bullet in front of the council, and still kept talking. Final line, narration by Ali Layla. Voiceover. He was part man, part machine. But what made him powerful was his heart. Fade to black. Text on screen. Humanity didn't just survive, it led. The end.